Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This week I'm doing a little bit of a different type of video. I don't know if you guys are gonna like this. Of course, comment down below if you do like these kind of videos, but I've been watching a lot of like note-taking videos and studying videos, and I kind of wanted to make some of them. So I wanted to share with you guys today how I take notes. So the first notes I want to go over are my AP Psychology notes. AP Psychology, I actually dropped this class, but it is a really good class. I recommend if anyone can take it, you should. But this is how I took my notes for AP Psychology. So I have this index card here because I have like information there that I don't want to share. So basically I took notes over this reading we had, and you see like in places that are important, I tried to like break it down into like little diagrams. So like here, memory, thinking, memory, and attitude was conscious or unconscious. Like that's what it was defined by. Then I kept on going down. I tried to underline things that are important, like things that I just need to remember. So then if I look back on these notes, I can really just hit the points that I need to remember. A lot of these are just like vocab. Here were the last notes I took for psychology, and I recommend like this style for, I guess, open notes that you need to take. So just like if it's a lot of vocab, like this book was a lot of vocab words, so I wrote whatever word it was and then the definition. I wrote the word in red and the definition in blue and just went down like that. And you'll see, like for me, I really like using arrows. You're gonna see that a lot through my notes, but like this is just how I took notes for this class. Just a lot of just like vocab and stuff like that. Now we're gonna move on to AP US History. So this class, these notes are very tedious because my teacher only takes quizzes as grades in the class, and you're thinking that's not possible. Go to this class. Okay, so basically he gives us questions. I'll explain the formatting of this when it says like chapter 3 questions. He gives us questions to go over before the quiz so that we're better prepared. So that's where you're gonna see like chapter 3 questions part 2, like that's what you're gonna see through the notes. So basically with this setup of notes, since it's a lot of information, it can go over about, I think these notes easily went over about 150 years of history in one chapter. So I had a lot of the very important things like the King Philip's Rebellion, and like, you know, I had like the name of the leader in King Philip's Rebellion, and then I also had just like all the big things that happened, like the factual things that you should remember. So the chapter questions, I recommend if you do have these or you do have to go over some review questions, you should do them while you're reading to maximize time. Productivity is the most important thing in high school. If you don't have time to do stuff and you know you don't have enough time to already do what's on your plate, organize and try to do it while you're doing it. Like I did questions 1 through 3. I had 15 questions to do, just like right there. And it was fresh on my mind, and I didn't really have to go back and reread stuff. These are like the most important things for wars, like how it ended, who is leading it, who was it. I do arrows of like the same thought, so then it's just not so straight down the page as you saw in my psychology note. It was like very straight down the page. So I was trying to avoid doing that. So I started doing like these clumps with the arrows, and then I could just like read it down a little bit more and know when like me talking about that specific thing stopped. That's about it. I mean, these notes are just very simple, and this is what I mean. I'm not really a big person with colors. This is what I mean. Like, this is how colors are effective. There are many studies that have shown that doing notes in multiple colors, even though I do, you're gonna see those in a second, doing notes in multiple colors actually doesn't help, because as you can see, even with these notes, your eyes are drawn to the different color. Like, if there's a sea of blue, you're drawn to the red. If there's a sea of red, you're drawn to the blue. Okay. We're not going to talk about how hard I press. My handwriting, I press really hard. I'm just warning you guys, I press really hard when I write, so don't judge me. But these are my Korean notes, and it literally looks like Braille because this paper's thin because I got this journal from Dollar Tree. So here are my Korean notes, and as you can see, it looks like a colorful mess, basically. That's what these notes are. So these are the notes where I really just take my time. It's like really, it's my leisure thing. You know what I mean? Like I have a lot of fun taking notes. So usually the structure of my notes, I'll pick a more structured page. So this is like a lesson I did out of Talk to Me in Korean. That's the book I was learning out of. So this is lesson 2 for yes, no, and what. So I write ne, 안녕. Then I write the meaning of what they mean, the difference. And then in Korea, they actually, like, when you say yes or no to a question, it means something a little bit different than in America. So I started breaking that down. So I don't really recommend doing notes like this because, as you can see, they're kind of a headache. They're kind of a nightmare to like reread. So usually I do at the top, I'll do like the explanation, then I'll do the examples, then I'll maybe do more examples or like a practice at the end. That's usually how my language notes go. So we're gonna start with math. I'm actually really proud of my math notes. They look so like good this year. I don't know why they look so good, but they just look really good. So this is like over domain. Like my last year math notes did not look good. So here we are. So like domain, it has the explanation of domain. And then the exceptions are the rules for domain. And then again, an arrow. Love arrows. Then we have an arrow and an example. So with my pre-cal notes, these are actually weird. So I write down one side usually and then down the other, and I'm probably gonna find an example of that, but here we go. Like, we're just gonna go with this. So like, I think for this one, I wrote across. I usually write across at the top and then down for examples. So then I just write these little notes, like this is the restriction. And then I write these examples of just like examples she gave. I use pen so that I could like highlight the answers, and there we go. My last notes, and definitely not least, are actually not notes. Well, they are, but this is a study guide I have for chemistry. So we're gonna just jump into this because I know for me it took a long time to be able to write study guides well, so I just would like to go over that with you guys because I struggled with it for a lot of my school career. Like, I finally got study guides together in high school, probably around last year. So let's get started. So question 1 in my homework was actually really long, so I titled it like question 1 and question 2 because these had like multiple parts to it and stuff. So like my AP Psych notes, I would write the words in red and then definitions in blue. And basically I do that just to like keep it clear again, just to be able to go like reactants, products, balanced reactions, just like that. So on this side, it actually gets a little bit interesting. So again, I do kind of like my math notes and have the invisible line through the middle. Ooh. But I do the invisible line thing, and I did like a rule, don't add subscripts. Those were just 2 notes I did. I did 2 examples. I like to do 1 easy example, 1 hard example. So like the same thing when I make math study guides, I like to do an easy example and a hard example, so then I can just break it down and like just look at it basically. So I did a box around something that was important that I forgot a lot. And then like the King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk, that thing, and then just like a conversion chart. There's really not much to these notes, but it's just simple. Try to keep notes like these, like study guides, simple, clean, just to the point. I could just look through this and be done. Like, I wouldn't have to sit down and study and hope I remembered it and then probably have to reread it later because I forgot. Like, this is all the things I kind of like missed or like kind of found difficult on the test. They're right here, and that's just a lot easier. Thank you guys for watching this week's video. I hope you liked this kind of different content. Like if you do like these videos and want to see them in the future. Comment other study tips that you want to hear about. Maybe me busting myths, maybe a study with me. I don't know, whatever you guys want to hear. How to be productive, anything about that. I would love to make content like that. Hope you guys liked this video. Like, subscribe, and I will see you guys on Sunday.